Okay, if you want to make your way to a comfortable cross-legged seated position, you can either sit on a block to give you more space, or just on the floor. So a normal cross-legged, or you can go for a wider cross-legged seated position. And if you want to close your eyes down, reach your crown of your head up towards the ceiling. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Allow your hands to rest on your knees and your elbows to become heavy. And to start off, we'll take 3 clearing breaths. So an inhale through the nose and sigh it out through the mouth. Inhale through the nose and sigh it out through the mouth. Last one. Inhale through the nose and sigh it out through the mouth. Seal your lips together. Feel grounded to the mat beneath you and concentrate on your breathing. The intention for today's class is hip openers. So these are just more than feel-good yoga poses that release tension and strain. They offer dynamic movement that can improve your range of motion for all other yoga poses that you practice. The gentle compression experienced in hip opening poses allows your hips to experience a greater scope of mobility. Hip openers also serve as an emotional release. Ancient yogic philosophy has taught us that hips are where we store deep-rooted emotions, often the kind we keep hidden deep down, like anger, anxiety, sadness, and frustration. By opening the hips, we can experience a profound physical, mental, and emotional release. So keep concentrating on your breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And if you have any particular intentions for your practice today, then also focus on those. When you're ready, if you want to move your arms out to the side, and with an inhale breath, raise your arms out and up overhead towards the ceiling until your palms kiss together. As you exhale, bring your palms in front of you to your heart center. Inhale, raise your palms back up to the ceiling, stretching as high as you can. And then on an exhale, part the palms and bring the arms down to cactus arms with your elbows in line with your shoulders. On an inhale, puff your chest out and a slight back bend as you bring your elbows forward and your fingers to the back. And on an exhale, fold forward, curving your spine and bringing your arms in front of your face. Inhale, realign your spine and lift your arms back up to the ceiling. Big stretch. And then on an exhale, grab your right wrist with your left hand and exhale as you lean to the left, extending your side body, keeping your right hip grounded to the mat. Inhale, raise back up to the ceiling. And then on an exhale, grab your left wrist with your right hand, stretching over to the right side, keeping your left hip grounded. Inhale as you reach back up to the ceiling. And then on an exhale, bring your arms back down to the mat. When you're ready, come off of any blocks that you're sitting on and get your supports. We'll be moving into reclined butterfly position. So you need bolster or cushions and also your strap. So loop your strap, or if you've not got a strap, then tie it in a knot if you've got a belt, and then put it over your head, round your waist, And then sit with your bolsters behind you at your back, and then put your strap around, put your feet together into butterfly position, and then loop your strap around your feet, making sure that the metal D-ring isn't anywhere where it's going to irritate. And then tighten it up, bringing your feet towards your groin. And then when you're ready, slowly lie back onto your support, and we'll be holding this position for 5 minutes. So relax into it. Put your arms out to the side with the palms facing up, and focus on your breath. And just enjoy the heart opening and the hip opening position. Butterfly is a very good stretch for the inner thighs, groin, knees, and hips. It is an excellent pose to enjoy after physical exercise, or as a general stretch to move stale energy and congestion from those areas. One minute remaining in this pose. Last few breaths. And when you're ready, on an inhale, slowly make your way back up. Leave the bolsters where they are and remove your strap from around your feet and move it out of the way. We'll be moving into supported saddle, so move over onto your knees. You'll probably need a block or two for this position. So you'll be sitting knees together with your feet, so your bum in between your feet. If you can sit like that, that's fine. If you're needing any support, you can put a block underneath your bottom. And we'll be doing this as a reclined pose. We'll be holding for 3 minutes. You can either come back onto a bolster or a bolster and a block, or just a block to support your reclined saddle. And as you go down, if at any point you lift your knees, you've gone too far. As I say, we'll be holding this for 3 minutes. So make sure you're comfortable and you're able to relax. Supported saddle creates space in the low back area. This tends to be compressed from sitting with rounded spines much of our day. It releases the fronts of the legs and hips, stretches the muscles that are needed for strong internal hip postures such as Warrior One, Crescent Lunge and Bridge, and it helps create balancing release for those that struggle with restless leg syndrome. This pose stimulates the urinary, spleen, stomach, and kidney meridian lines. Saddle is one of the most effective ways of realigning the sacrum and lower spine and re-establishing the natural lumbar curve that gets lost through years of sitting in chairs. So relax into the pose and just enjoy the release and the stretches. Just a minute remaining in this pose. Last few breaths. And then on an inhale, slowly bring yourself back up to a seated position. Remove any supports that you have. Come onto all fours And we'll move into child's pose just as a counter to flex our back in the opposite direction. So you can either have your knees together or your knees apart. Probably together is better. And then just take a few breaths here. Then on an inhale, push into your hands. Come back up to all fours. Tuck your toes under and push up to a soft downward dog. From here, if you want to bring your right leg up to behind your right wrist and place it down, preparing for sleeping swan or pigeon, as you know in Yang. Options for support, you can put a support under your right hip if required. So make sure your left leg goes back out straight. And then when you're ready, on an inhale breath, lift up and pull your heart forward. And then on an exhale breath, slowly lower either onto your forearms, or if you have the space, you can lower all the way down and put your head onto the mat. We'll be here for 5 minutes. Again, relax into the pose as much as you can and focus on your breath. This is perhaps one of the most popular hip openers. Sleeping Swan offers an amazing stretch for the glutes and hip flexors. The closer your heart melts towards the mat, the deeper the stretch. Remember, you have complete control over the depth of the pose. The discomfort usually means that stale energy and emotions are being released. Give them time to exit. 1 minute remaining in this pose. Last few breaths. Slowly, on an inhale, push your way back up. Remove any support you've got underneath your right bum, and then roll onto your right bum. And then just turn round into half butterfly. So make sure your right foot is up into the inside of your left leg, and your left leg is pointing out straight. On an inhale, just make your spine taller, and then on an exhale, fold forward and over your left leg. Now ensure all the muscles in your leg and your back are as relaxed as possible to make the most of this stretch and pose. So it's okay to round your back, put your hands either side of your leg and just close your eyes and relax into it. We'll be here in this position for 4 minutes. Half butterfly helps to open the back, hips, and inner leg. This correlates with the kidney, liver, gallbladder, and urinary bladder meridians. When the gallbladder meridian is out of balance, emotions of anger, irritability, frustration, resentment, jealousy, and envy are prominent. Imbalance in the urinary bladder meridian shows up as lack of energy and negative attitude. 1 minute remaining in this pose. Last few breaths. When you're ready, slowly move up on an inhale. Roll round to your right, or move round to your right. Put your hands onto the mat and push yourself slowly back up to a soft downward dog. And then lift up your left knee up towards your chin, behind your left wrist, and place it down, ready for sleeping swan on the other side. So push your right leg back, making sure it's in line, straight behind you. Again, you can use a prop. Place a block underneath your left hip if required. On an inhale, stretch up to pull your heart forward. And then on an exhale, move down either to your forearms or down to your head onto the mat. And similar to the other side, we'll be here for 5 minutes. 1 minute remaining in this pose. Last few breaths. When you're ready, on an inhale, slowly push up into your hands. Allow yourself to fall onto your left hip and roll round into half butterfly on the opposite side. Again, make sure your foot is on the inside of your right leg. Inhale to lengthen your spine, and then exhale and fold over your right leg. Again, ensure you relax all your muscles in your back and at the back of your leg, and we'll be here for 4 minutes. So close your eyes and focus on your breath and enjoy the stretch. One minute remaining in this pose. And then when you're ready, on an inhale breath, slowly push up and re-straighten your spine and come to a seated position. Put your right leg at the bottom in front of you, and then your left leg on top. We're coming into what's called fire log. So the full position, you need to have your shins parallel. If that's too much, there's a number of options, a couple of options. You can put a block underneath your left leg to support your left leg. And if you can't quite get into this position, you can also move your ankle a bit, your top ankle along. So that's your options. So we'll be in this pose for 3 minutes. And if this is enough for you, you can stay setting up. To get a deeper stretch, you can start moving forward. This is quite a strong pose, and you should at no point feel any pain in your knee. Discomfort's fine, but sharp pain's not, and you need to back off. But yeah, if you want to feel a more intense stretch, you can start moving forwards. As I say, we'll be in this position for 3 minutes. So the mythology behind this pose, in the Rig Veda, fire is personified as Agni, and Agni is said to be present in the fire of the sun, stars, and lightning. Fire is a transformative element, and fire log pose can be very uncomfortable as many people carry deep tension in their hips. This pose provides a deep stretch for the hips, opening the outer hips and buttocks. It also stretches and strengthens the groins, thighs, calves, and abdominal muscles. Last few breaths. And when you're ready, on an inhale breath, slowly, if you move forward, bring yourself back up to straight spine. And then we're going into cow face pose on the same side. So move your top leg over and your bottom leg underneath. So you've got your knees stacked on top of each other. We'll be in this pose for 3 minutes on each side. Again, if you're needing any modifications, if you struggle to get into this pose, if you sit on a block, that gives more space for your hips. Another option, if you struggle with this pose, is you can do it as a reclined cow face pose. So you can lie on your back and then hold your legs in the same position, but you don't have as much pressure on your hips. So those are the options for cow face pose. This pose is a stretch for the ankles, hips, and thighs. It's a great tool for killing the stress and anxiety that arises due to various reasons, such as work and relationships. It makes the body flexible and strengthens the thighs and hip joints. Strong legs are what cow face pose promises. The exercise is good for toning the thigh muscles. So relax and enjoy. Just a minute remaining in this pose. Last few breaths. And then when you're ready, we'll be crossing the legs to do fire log on the opposite side. So if you uncross your legs, put your left leg on the bottom with your shin parallel to the long side of the mat. Your right leg on top, so your shins are parallel. Again, you've got the option to put a block underneath your right knee for support, or not as required. And again, we'll be in this pose for 3 minutes. And similarly, as we said with the other side, you can move forward for a more intense stretch. One minute remaining in this pose. Last few breaths. And then when you're ready, on an inhale, slowly push yourself back up. And then slide your top right leg over your left leg so your knees are stacked. And we'll do cow face pose on this side for 3 minutes. One minute remaining in this pose. Last few breaths. Okay, when you're ready, you can slowly uncross your legs and move crab shuffle up to the top of your mat. Get any props, eye pillows or anything that you're going to need for Savasana. And then we'll slowly make our way down to a lying down position. Bring your feet out to mat width and slowly windscreen wipe your legs from side to side. And then holding on each side for a few breaths. And then whatever you did on one side, match it on the opposite side. And then when you're ready, stop your moving of your legs and stretch your legs out. Stretch your arms above your head and try and make yourself as long as you possibly can. Take a deep inhale breath and out. Move your arms down to your sides, palms facing up, and move your feet out to mat width position. Close your eyes down and get ready for Savasana. Take a deep inhale breath and sigh it out. Completely relax into the mat. Feel yourself heavy and grounded. Relax the space between your eyes and eyebrows. Part your lips slightly and relax your tongue away from the roof of your mouth and back of your teeth. Feel the support of the earth at your ankles, your calves, your butt, your back, shoulders, arms, and head. And then just enjoy these last few moments of Savasana. When you're ready, start to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Bring yourself back to the present moment and slowly roll on to either your left or your right side into a fetal position and settle there for a moment. Then slowly push yourself up to a comfortable cross-legged seated position. Thank yourself for all your hard work in today's practice. Thank others who've shared your practice with you today. Send out all the energy that you have created to someone who you think needs it the most. My soul honors your soul. I honor the place in you where the entire universe resides. I honor the light, love, truth, beauty, and peace within you because it is also within me. In sharing these things, we are united, we are the same, we are one. Namaste.